Welcome in. It is day 203, and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And today we're going to be going over a game that doesn't exactly have a box. I'm going to see if I can pop up an image for you guys of something that might be good on the left over here. But for now, it's in the little case that I usually have it in. It's the way I got it. This is a game that initially I didn't know if it was a real game. So the concept is I am a big anime fan. I'm sure some of you may be out there. A lot of you may not be. And I didn't really know I was in anime until college. When I was younger, every Sunday at 6 in the morning on my, not a lot of money type of TV deal that the family had, we would get in a 1 hour block of Dragon Ball Z. Now, at the time, I didn't understand that that was an anime. I just thought it was a cartoon, a violent cartoon, but a cartoon. Well, I got to college, and my friend who I made in college was a huge anime fan, and he got me into the show Naruto. And of course, after that, Naruto Shippuden. Really started a whole flock of years of me getting into lots of anime. But in Naruto, my favorite character was a character called Shikamaru, and he kept playing this game with his mentors. And eventually one day I thought to myself, for me, because, this is, for those of you who know Naruto, it's essentially ninjas, but it's with magic and all this other stuff. And I would think, this must be part of the world. I didn't know of the game. I hadn't heard of anything like it before. But I then got a thought and was like, well, this is based out of Japan. Maybe in Japan, there's a game that's just not well known in the States. So I looked it up, and as it turned out, there was. So I bought it. And the game was called Shogi. Now, this is just the board. We do have pieces that come out from the inside here. It's an interesting little game. It's essentially chess. However, what's interesting from when I looked it up was chess was actually inspired by shogi. You look up chess and it's one of the oldest games that's still played today. But shogi far predates that and is a far more strategic game. Your pieces can flip to the other side and get new moves. When they're destroyed, you can still bring them back in by parachuting them in to be able to use them as not only ways to attack, but also ways to defend. It's a really complicated game. I've only played a couple times. Technically, I'm undefeated, but that's also from somebody who wouldn't even consider themselves a novice, who defeated somebody who is even less than a person who is less than a novice. It seems like a great game. I would love to learn. It's just there's nobody to really play with. But I like that I got the board, and it's one I definitely would never get rid of just because not only is it a cool game I'd like to learn, but it has such a nostalgic feeling to me from being from my first big college anime, and that was what inspired me to want to get it. Now, with that being said, it's going to be a little tough today, but I'm going to try to do my best to give this a fair 7 categories judgment and really be honest about how I feel I would act for it and where it's going to land. So when it comes to the art, obviously, I don't have a box. It literally came in this. It was wrapped in a regular cardboard box and then this. There's no real box advertising it. This is not in stores in the US for me to go and be seeing and grab my eye to go buy it. I've never been to Japan, but my assumption is this might be kind of like chessboards here are in Japan. This might be that game that you find in their antique stores and some of their board game stores is like the thing that's obviously out there because it's the commonly played game. That's a possibility. I'm not sure. The fact that I've seen it in anime definitely means that it must have brought a resurgence because it got me to look it up and I wasn't even from Japan, and that's a big show in Japan. That being said, there's no real art to judge here. It's a pretty bland board. There's nothing really advertising it. So for me, although I love the game, I have to admit, there's no real art here at all, and I can't give credit to a show artistically getting it across to me. So it has to be a thumbs down. When it comes to those components are quite straightforward. You have the board, which is really nice wood. Now again, I probably bought a little bit more of an expensive and better version, but I would assume, I'm going to base off the one I have. And then I love the sliding feature to allow me to get into the inside that goes all the way through. This drawer comes out. And your pieces are these little wooden pieces that go on the board. It's very simple. I think they did a very good job. It kept it nice and simple. It's all I'm looking for. It's a thumbs up. Your price. So first and foremost, it's not available. You're not finding this in the States. You have to go online for this, and it's not cheap. I didn't get this easy. I got to pay at least $60 for this, probably 70 or 80 when you go into the shipping and everything. It is not cheap, and it's not easy to learn. It's a very tough game. So if you don't have somebody who wants to sit right there and learn right next to you and become an expert with, or people who already know, to me, it's not worth getting because I was really excited for it, and I don't have anybody to play, so I can't learn the game well. So it has to be a thumbs down. Your difficulty follows right up. This is not like chess. This is not one that I'm recommending to kids and to beginners to learn and start to strategize from. This is not one that I'm even recommending to the experienced because I think it's too advanced for them when it comes to that one-on-one strategy game. It's really difficult. I think that an expert, sure, but even then, I think this is outside the norm for our group of people, those who watch my videos. I don't think this is going to fit what we're looking for on a regular basis. Difficulty's too high on this. Thumbs down. Replayability. So the concept of the replayability is there. I would associate this the same to chess. I used to play chess game after game after game. I'd play it daily. But, well, that's what this would ideally be. Again, you need to have that ability to play it that often. Chess is easy. You have chess teams in every high school and college. You have people who meet up for chess at libraries. And if you go to your local board game stores, you'll find somebody who will play a chess game with you. This is not going to have that availability. So while the replayability has an opportunity for that, I haven't seen it. Has to be a thumbs down. Keys to victory. Now this is a part that I can get into because the game has that setup of, okay, we have all our people out. You're still doing the idea of trying to capture the other person's king or emperor, whatever they call it in this one. I forget what their version was, but it's still there. So you're still making the offensive moving, defensive moving. You have the ability to capture pieces like they say in chess. You don't kill, you capture them. However, your captured pieces become pieces you can now relaunch, essentially turn them into a double agent. So it just turns them the other way around, and now they're your person. Meaning you now can parachute people in, block the path as somebody thinks they're about to kill your king, you drop somebody in between. There's a lot of opportunity there. It's a very strategic game, and the keys to victory are all over the place. Got to give it a thumbs up. Unique. Is the game unique? I wish I could give it unique. I do, but I can't. This is too close to chess for me. Chess was inspired by this. It is a strategic game about moving pieces that each have different abilities to move up and back on the board, trying to, at the end of the day, capture the king. That's the game, and that's chess. So while I was happy to add this to my collection, well, I think that this is a cool game to reference. And if I ever could find a few people who knew what they were doing and I could learn and really get into it, I would definitely do it. At the end of the day, if I knew this game as well as I know chess, it would be a decision every time of chess or this. And while I like this, I would pick chess every time because chess is the game I'm great at. So it's just, for me, it can't be unique. Got to be a thumbs down. Overall, what do I think? I think this is more, in general, a showpiece. For me, this is the type of game that I'll put out as a nice little, on the table in the corner of my board game room because it does look nice. It's a nice aesthetic. And I think that somebody coming in might be like, oh, I'm into Naruto, or maybe another show that showed it. Let me check that out. And I think that it would be exciting, but it's not one I think is going to be played by many. That being said, maybe this is a game really for you. And for those of you who may have been to Japan or might be from Japan, feel free to comment below and let me know. Have you seen this in stores on a regular basis? Is this their version of chess, the kind of game that would be a little bit more commonly found? The anime doesn't necessarily fit what the current culture may be. I can only say that that was what grabbed my attention to even look it up. That being said, again, I've never been there. I've never looked it up. I've never really had the opportunity to see where the popularity for this game is in Japan or in other parts of possibly Asia or Europe or anything like that. I know I've been to locations in Europe for board game stores. I've never seen this game there. But doesn't mean that it hasn't been in certain stores. And it's also not one that was on my radar to go looking for. Had I seen it, I would have been like, oh, I know that game, but I wasn't looking for the game. Well, it has been day 203, and we've been speaking about the game Shogi. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.